All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight it's just Keith, Chris, and Austin making a guest appearance. We're going to break down this Kyrie Irving trade to the Mavs. Before we hop into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button for us. We are on the push for 250, growing the family. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for what you do for us. Make sure you hit the like button on that video so it becomes more popular. And as always, you can hit us in the comments. You know we will get back to you. So, all right, Kyrie Irving traded to Dallas Mavericks, getting paired up with Luka. We'll talk about whether this, affects their chances for a championship. But in just reaction to the trade, Dallas gets Markieff Morris and Kyrie Irving. Obviously, Brooklyn gets Spencer Dinwiddie back, Dorian Finney-Smith, and then it looks like an unprotected first round and 2 second-round picks from Dallas. So, if you're looking at it, who won this trade?
I mean, long term, it's got to be Brooklyn, right?
I don't know. I think Brooklyn right now is the winner, and I think Brooklyn will be the winner until Dallas signs Kyrie. Because Kyrie's a free agent after this year.
Yep.
So if Brooklyn gave up all this for 1 year and a chance to win,
You mean Dallas?
Dallas, gives up all this for a chance to win this year and doesn't sign Kyrie. Kyrie has voiced his opinions about wanting to go to the Lakers and join LeBron in free agency. So it's like, Dallas, you pair Luka, you put two very unguardable people on the same team. I love that. But, if Kyrie doesn't get signed, then you just gave up 2 or 3 players, 3 picks for a guy for 6 months. Not even that, 2 months. Come June.
Through June,
Yeah.
4 months.
June, July.
Yeah.
The problem with that also is, the Lakers tried to make a trade for him, and Denver, Brooklyn said absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm not taking Russell Westbrook's $48 million on.
But they were also giving him like 2 firsts and something else.
They were willing to bankrupt everything.
Well, that's LeBron.
Yeah.
That's what LeBron's done in every franchise he's been in.
Yeah.
I don't know that LeBron wants to be with Kyrie again.
Well, he does. You should have seen his Twitter.
I mean,
he's already voiced his opinions.
I know he said that,
it.
but really, let's think about it.
They already had
Kyrie didn't end well last time.
They already had it.
I just don't know. I think for me, it all depends on if Dallas, gets a championship out of this, right? I'm with you on re-signing Kyrie. You need to see how these two play together the rest of the year. If this looks like a winning formula, obviously you sign Kyrie long term. He is 30 years old, so
I love
you can get maybe 5 good years out of him. 4.
Maybe. Yeah.
I love what Stephen A. said. Going forward with Kyrie, I'd pay him money. Don't get me wrong; he deserves to have a max. But I pay him 1 year at a time. With all his shenanigans and everything he does on and off the court, you pay him 1 year at a time.
Yeah.
But you give him the money. Hey, we'll give you whatever. We can give you 40 to 45. I can't remember what the max is.
You want 44 next year? Cool.
Yeah. Cool. We'll give it to you. But you got to play X number of games and you got to play X number of minutes.
Kind of make like an incentive-based contract versus a guaranteed
contract. You play. It's the same thing that the Twins did with Correa. You play X number of games and you play X number of minutes. Then yes, we will re-up you on the same deal next year.
Yeah, we'll give you what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if Dallas wins a championship this year, they won this deal. But I think if they can't win a championship with Kyrie, they gave up a lot. They gave up their starting power forward and their starting shooting guard and 3 draft picks to get,
a 30-year-old Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
The only thing
who's only got 6 months left on his deal.
The only thing I don't like about Kyrie is Kyrie. Now you're gonna have Luka, Kyrie, be vice versa. Kyrie, Luka at 1 and 2. You got Christian Wood at the 3. You got Powell at the center spot. You got Tim Hardaway Jr. that's going to play that, Christian Wood's probably going to play the 4. Tim Hardaway's going to probably play the 3.
Yep.
Yeah, slide in and out,
I would have, instead of Morris, if they could have somehow got, Seth Curry, a shooter, that's my problem with this Dallas team, is you don't have a guy
outside of Luka
that can sit up Kyrie
post
drives
up,
to the
yeah.
lane, kick out, corner three, or wing three. Like, you don't have that 3-point shooter. You don't have that 3-point shooter on this team. And that's what basketball is nowadays. Now, they're going to shoot a lot of threes, but you don't have that sniper.
Yeah, they might shoot 20, but they're going to hit like 6.
Yeah, you don't have that sniper that between Luka and Kyrie, you're going to have a lot flowing to the basket. You have to have somebody to kick to. And is Tim Hardaway Jr. that guy? Maybe not. Like,
Yeah, I don't know that I would consider Tim Hardaway a
I didn't know
sniper.
they had
So
Kimbo on that team.
they used to have Kimbo on that team. He retired. So I would say, yeah. I mean, it almost feels like if you're Dallas, the whole game you have to have one of or both Kyrie and Luka on the floor.
are you doing pick and rolls with Kyrie and Luka now?
I mean, you could. You really are definitely going to do pick and rolls with Christian Wood. I mean, I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the real advantage now for them. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is not a bad player. I think he's a guy that can really kind of help step up and maybe score 12 to 15 points a game. He's averaging 13 right now this season. So, you're losing Spencer, who is a great scorer, but you're getting, I would say, a more elite guard. And now Luka has to be able to play off the ball. Like, we're going to have to see Luka be able to not have the ball in his hand and make things happen quickly.
I mean, imagine.
Well, that's what's going to be the biggest change here is how is that going to affect Luka's game? Because he's used to being the driving point.
But yeah, both players have to have the ball in their hands. Players, so that's the thing that gets me. Like, do you play Luka at the 4 and use even pick and rolls with Kyrie?
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe.
how absurd?
That's something they're going to have to work on.
How absurd would that be? Is putting Luka at a 4, Wood at a 5, playing a small team. I mean, Luka's what?
6'7", 230.
6'7", 2. I mean, he's a small forward. Now, what about Brooklyn? You got to look at the other side of this.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Brooklyn's probably going to end up having to blow everything up. So, you get Spencer Dinwiddie back. He's obviously elevated his game since the last time he was a Brooklyn Net. Can him and Ben Simmons play alongside each other next year? You're probably not going to get Kevin Durant back next year if they don't already trade Kevin in the next 2 days.
They say Durant could be off the table by the deadline. And they said the first team that is thinking about Kevin Durant, and I would bet every money on them to win it all if they get him, is the Boston Celtics.
Well, Boston gets the others.
If Boston
That
finds
makes
a way,
them a huge team.
Yeah.
if Boston finds a way to not give up Smart or Brown in that trade, then
The plan would be to give
or not
up
Smart, Tatum.
to give up Smart, Bogdan, some other role position players, and 7 first-round picks, maybe. I don't know. What would Kevin Durant go for? 7 first round. I mean, if you're
Probably
but
seven.
at that point, like how much are you willing to risk your franchise for one player who's 34 years old?
If you could tell me for the next 5 years that I could have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, Robert Williams, and who would be a shooting guard that they would have?
I mean, Brown.
Derek White. If you could tell me that could be my starting 5 for the next 5 years, I would bankrupt my whole team.
I don't think any player is worth bankrupting a team like that. I mean, I
Not
don't.
at 34 years old, I'm not doing that. I would do it for Luka right now. If I could get Luka on the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, 27 or 26.
Yeah, sure. But I don't know. I mean,
Cuban's not giving up Luka no matter what you throw at him.
no. So let's look at this from the Dallas perspective. Now that Dallas has Kyrie, the situation they're in and the team they're in, what teams in the Western Conference are still better than Dallas today?
Denver.
Golden State.
Well, Golden State's
They're on the outside
they're
looking in.
Yeah, well, no, they're not. They're in the playing games. So
Well, but I mean, they're still on the outside looking in for those guaranteed positions.
I would say a healthy Suns team
Healthy Suns team. Denver's the best team in the West currently.
by record. Yeah.
No, they just are. If you watch
They have
basketball,
a really good team.
Denver is the best team in the West.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Joker out there is just killing people.
Memphis has started off so strong and now look like they forgot how to play basketball. They can't score more than 105 points a game. So
It's a really young team though too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's scary that they look this bad coming into where we're coming into. I think you can't I mean, if Curry's healthy, which he's not right now.
Yeah, he's out through February, right?
Yeah.
At least.
You can't rule out a Golden State Warrior team. And I think the reason why Golden State can beat Dallas is because they can play defense against the guards. Between Wiggins and Clay, you have really good defenders.
Well, Draymond can still play defense too.
Yeah.
He just can't score.
Yeah. But I mean, I think they're a top 3-4 team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I still think they're behind, like you said, Denver. Maybe behind Memphis if they can get their act together.
I would put them about even. I would put
Yeah.
them behind Denver. I would put them behind the Warriors until they prove otherwise. I think Warriors is that team that I don't care
when they're healthy, they can score anybody.
I don't care what they do in the regular season. Until you beat them in the playoffs, they are ahead of you. And I think unhealthy Suns, but they're not healthy.
Yeah.
The Clippers, another really good team. They can make a run. I think the West is a lot of good teams. And
you don't have great teams, but you have a lot of good, solid teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who matches up with who and who plays who in the postseason?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest tell.
If you can avoid Denver and Golden State in the postseason, that's your best chance. You're going to see one of them eventually, but avoiding them as long as you can.
So you want to be in that 5 to 6 range. So you
Yeah.
don't have to see those guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about, I mean, Brooklyn's still in it. They're the 5 seed currently for the East. Obviously, if they trade off Kevin Durant, that's going to
go way down.
They can't beat Boston. They can't beat Milwaukee.
Boston and Milwaukee are definitely the top 2 teams in the East.
I don't-
Philly's got a good, solid team too.
That's what I was saying. I don't think they could beat Philly, and I don't think they could beat Cleveland. Cleveland plays really good defense.
Young Cavs right now are really playing.
They're
well.
really good.
But you talk about the Heat, the Knicks, the Hawks.
The Heat are silently coming back up. They're getting healthy and they're silently coming back up.
Don't
The
say that shit.
Bulls,
Don't
the
get me wrong.
Pacers, the Toronto, they can beat all those teams just with KD and some good skill position players. Hell, they look like Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas looks like freaking LeBron James out here.
Hey, they traded away Kyrie. This guy scored 44 and 47 the last 2 nights. So,
I mean,
yeah, looking like a genius right now.
Yeah.
On the Brooklyn Nets.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think I'm with you. It all depends on how Kyrie kind of what comes out of Kyrie, right? Are we going to get a championship, and are we going to be able to re-sign him? Otherwise, for me, Brooklyn won this trade by a mile.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely think Brooklyn wins it in the long run. I mean, with the picks and everything, but
it
I mean, if it's like you guys have already said, it really depends on if Mark Cuban can talk to Kyrie and get him to re-up a deal or to stay on to really see what they can or can't do in that with going forward with for a full season.
Yeah, Brooklyn did what they had to do.
Oh, absolutely.
There was no.
They weren't going to sign him.
You can't.
They knew they were going to sign him.
You can't let him walk.
You have to get something out of
it.
it.
You get something. Now we might look back and it might be the stupidest trade ever. They might go on to win three trophies in a row, but
right.
I mean, Brooklyn, you did what was best for you. And I know the fans are sitting there like, we thought we were going to compete this year. No.
I mean that's what marks a good team from a bad team is that these teams that think they're great know they're not going to re-sign their great players, and then go and get what they can for them.
That's when if you didn't do this, come next year Durant leaves and you're in a full rebuild.
Well, Durant and Kyrie leave.
Yeah,
you lose
that's what I
everything.
mean.
Yeah.
You lose everything.
Yeah.
It hurts now, but you got something for it, and that's what you.
Well, and they got decent players in return, and then you get a lot of draft capital out of it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think won the trade between Dallas and Brooklyn. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.